And Dr. Brown, the building's name, the Kellogg name is famous in the city of Elizabeth as elsewhere in this country. But who is or who was Elizabeth Kellogg, and why name the building after her?
Elizabeth I. Kellogg was the wife of Mr. Kellogg, who's the park's named after. I believe that's correct. And he was chairman of New York Stock Exchange. He has 4 sons. Jim is the most active with the college, and they do a lot of different things in the city, donations, particularly for the nursing school. His mother was chairman of the foundation board when I came in 1990. She donated money for the original library in Elizabeth, and they were the first group to give us the silent donation to kick off our capital campaign, which was, to this day, the largest in community colleges in New Jersey. It finished about a year ago. Well,
Jim Kellogg's been a great attribute to our city and surrounding regions with his contributions from trust funds or whatever he sponsors. And legend has it in North Elizabeth that there's a Kellogg wanted to develop that in the early 1900s, and in order to develop all of North Elizabeth, he had to name the blocks after the women in the family. And so you have Mary and Louisa and Anna Street all around the 2 parks, one being Kellogg Park and one being Jefferson Park.
Didn't know that.
I don't know the truth to that legend, but I grew up with that legend,
I'll
so
find out.
We'll have to find out.
Yes. You saw Jim at the...
I did, and I've chatted with him about it, and we've kind of nodded a lot, but we never really spent a lot of time on the research on that. So the programs that are going to be housed at the new building.
Okay. We're moving over the food service to a food court. It's 6 stories, 1 below, 5 above. It's 132,000 square feet. The lower level is a food court with computer access. The first floor is a 2-floor lecture hall, which is gorgeous looking. The entrance, it also has our library. A new program is being brought over from Cranford called the Paralegal Program, to bring it closer to the city and the county and all the law operations there. That's on that floor right there. Also, during the first floor, you have different meeting rooms. Second floor is all classrooms. Third floor is the nursing school. And I don't know whether you saw that when you went in the other day.
You know, I didn't get a chance to see it because I had to run out and pick up my daughter. There was one speech that went extremely long, if you remember, so I had to run and get my daughter, and I couldn't see it, but I want to come back and see that building.
Be happy to take you through.
Yeah,
their floor is sort of like an operating nursing room where they have a whole series of what is called Laerdal. They don't call them mannequins, they don't call them dummies, but they can sit there and by pressing a button, they can have heart attack, they can choke, they can do anything you can name, burn victims. And what happens is that they've found out over the years that if you stand next to the student gets very worried and very nervous. So they sit in another room and then they press different things to watch the student's reaction to an emergency.
Sounds like a CSI episode right there in the school.
Yeah, almost to a degree, yes.
And so, and what are they're supposed to rush in and then deal with whatever the issue is?
Yes, it's very, very interesting, very well. And the fact that they all take the same national exams, whether you go to a 2-year institution, a diploma, a 3, or a baccalaureate, they all take the same national exams. And community colleges overall do much better in the passing rate.
In the nursing program, when they graduate from your program, are they an LPN or an RN?
RN.
They're an RN.
RN, yes.
So they got to sit for the boards or whatever they do, but they're prepared to be an RN.
98% pass.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have an LPN program that's in our Plainfield campus, and that is a career ladder. If they go on for their RN, they get the first year already done. So
and the nursing program is like any other. They pay for this themselves. Hospitals don't pay the tabs for the nurses in the education. It's like any other degree.
Yes. They go for financial aid. They go for scholarships. They pay tuition and fees. Everything's the same.
And the hiring, I guess the graduates are, usually hired out of your school, I would say. There's a high rate.
The biggest problem is getting them to stay in an area because different hospitals will offer them more money. The average starting salary right now is $63,600.
A friend of mine's daughter just started as a nurse, and she started around that number, somewhere between 61 and 63,000. That's a good number to start.
Yes, it is.
So nurses are in demand.
Yes, very much so, and will continue to be, because statistics show in the next 5 to 10 years they'll probably lose 30 or 40% of the nurses to retirement.
Dr. Brown, are classes started in that new building, or
Yes.
on a small scale? Or?
Small scale, because we didn't expect the building to open up that quickly.
I know a conversation you and I had a couple of months ago. You said, Chris, I think this thing might open in September or October. And I said, are you ready? And you said, I planned the class schedule starting January. So that caused a little scramble on your part, I guess.
Well, actually...
A good one to have, though. A good problem to have.
Yes. We probably have maybe about 1,500 to 2,000 in there now. By January, we'll have 5,000 or 6,000.
In there.
Yeah. But we just could not. When the builder said to us, we're ready to open earlier, we had budgeted, and also... As a college, just like your operations, you have to advertise 6 months. We're already registering now for winter session. So that's how far ahead you have to do it. When he said, what happens if I bring in 2,000 students? I have no place to put them. We couldn't take that chance. So we have a small number of students in here right now. But come January, it'll be booming.
And Dr. Brown, the new building and the programs in the master plan of Union County College, you've been there for a few years now. You've watched the college grow not only among students but also among the ability of the faculty to convey their message. How does this fit into the new building, the structural, into the programs and the degrees that UCC offers?
When I came in 1990, our two biggest campuses, since we're a merged institution with the Vocational Technical School way back in '80, our two biggest campuses were in Scotch Plains and Cranford. But yet we're in an urban county. And I thought that was a little unusual. But yet our smallest campuses were Elizabeth and Plainfield. And I made a change, and I made a commitment to Elizabeth, and it's boomed. I made a commitment to Plainfield, and it's boomed. And now they are serviced by New Jersey Transit. They're serviced by buses, trains, you name it, where Scotch Plains never was. But that's a joint campus now with the University of Medicine and Dentistry. We made that change, too. They took over all our costs. But
are you still part of that or no?
Yes, we are.
Oh.
Yes, and plus we run all the academies with the vocational technical schools out there with the different schools. But it's primarily an urban institution. I made that change, and it's worked out very, very well. And that's fit into the master plan.
Based on that, in the difficult economic times and the recession that we find ourselves in, has that hurt the enrollment in an urban area?
No. Actually, our enrollment has been, a lot of people say during poor economic times, people tend to go to community colleges. Not necessarily in our case, because in the last 10 years, we've averaged probably 2 to 3% growth each year. Now, you say 2 to 3%, that's not much, but when you have a base of 10,000 students, that's a lot of students. Currently, right now, we have 12,400 credit students, either going for a degree, certificate, or diploma, and 26,000 non-credit students. So we got 38, 39. We're the 7th largest college in the state of New Jersey, whether you're a university or a two-year college. We're the 7th largest. I didn't finish describing the building. You'll like it. The 4th floor is classroom, but the 5th floor is what stimulated the freeholders in the state. It's economic development suites on the top floor. And the sole purpose of this, we have an agency there called the Union County Industry Business Institute, is to attract business into the city of Elizabeth or wherever, and we do the training. On that floor, we have a capability of 500 people can have lunch and training there. And we have state-of-the-art uplink, downlinks, all on one floor. And we have the county sending people over there. We hope that the Elizabeth Development Company will send, but it's not something for the whole group. It's a satellite office. And you come in there, it's completely operated. You just walk in, sit down, and operate. The cost is $30 a square foot, but we give you the computer, we give you all utilities, we give you support, and you just walk right in.
And even the local businesses that may want to do some economic development could probably come there as well and teach their staff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many ways you could be creative with that opportunity.
Yeah. So far, we have about 4 or 5 different groups coming into the city. Example, New Jersey Historic Trust. I sit on that board. They're coming in June 2010 with 400 to 500 people. They will spend time with us, but they'll also go over to the Ritz Theater, and they will spread some of the money out to the different areas, but they'll do their training right then and there.